Good morning, folks. It's Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Morning Rush Hour Report. Today, we have a high of 42, a low of 33. Currently, it is 34 degrees. Basically, it is cold. Make sure you warm yourself up.
Freddie wins.
That's right. Good morning, Yonkers. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I got some stuff to tell you, and it has to do with the redistricting. The guy that's been in charge of the redistricting, or at least we are being told is in charge of the redistricting, is a gentleman by the name of Dr. Andrew Beveridge. Not spelled like the drink, beverage, but sounds like beverage. Who is the guy that is redistricting Yonkers? Is he part of the Yonkers Black Sox? Anybody know about that? I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Anyone ever heard of the Yonkers Black Sox? And I'm not talking about baseballs, but there may be some balls involved. Anyway, folks, currently the temperature is 34 degrees at 42, high today, low of 33 degrees. Andrew Beveridge, the doctor, Andrew Beveridge. Sociology, that's where his major is. And basically, that's the study of human behavior, right? Sociology. Sure, he has, experience with statistics and mathematics and, populations and the deviations of populations. But truly, what is Dr. Beveridge's expertise and his goal and role in the redistricting process here in the city of Yonkers? Is it one, to give the Democrats and the current administration a fair or a unfair, I should say, disadvantage in winning elections? Is it gerrymandering? Is Dr. Beveridge truly having the best intentions of the voters here in the city of Yonkers? I'll let you guys decide. Who is Dr. Beveridge? Dr. Beveridge, I'm going to show you a little thing. I, Andrew A. Beveridge, am a professor of sociology at Queens College. Remember that. Queens College, and the Graduate Center, City University of New York. My primary responsibilities at the college and Graduate Center are teaching statistics and research methods at the graduate and undergraduate level and conducting quantitative, statistically based social research. Trained at Yale University, I have been employed in such a capacity since 1973, first at Columbia University until 1981, and since then at Queens College and the Graduate Center of CUNY. I currently am serving a 3-year term as chair of sociology department at Queens. My area of expertise include demography, the statistical and quantitative analysis of social science data sets, most particularly including census data, survey data, and administrative records. I am an expert in the application of GIS technology and the analysis of social patterns. I have analyzed the impact of neighborhood characteristics on educational outcomes and substance abuse. I have published results from my research. I have listed my scholarly publications on my resume, which is attached as Exhibit A. Some of these results have been widely disseminated by serving on a basis of articles in the New York Times, where I have served as a demographic consultant through an agreement between CUNY Research Foundation and the Times. And I can go on, and I'll put that up there. So sounds like he's done a lot. He was a professor of sociology at Queens College, and he seems to have had some controversy behind him. If I can find that here. There you go. Apparently, he had said something, and I'm wondering exactly what his real role is, right? It's the study of human behavior. We know that Yonkers has a history of racism, has a history of segregating, people based on race. Blacks and the Hispanics, poor, have been largely been kept on the west side, low-income housing. And now it looks like they're trying to move them from the west side now. They want that as prime real estate, right? And so we would need an individual like Dr. Beveridge, professor of sociology, because we want to understand how these groups will interact and behave. We start to move them around. We start to cut in through districts, splitting districts up, right? So Queens College professor calls African Americans slaves on CNN. This is January 29, 2018. in what many conservative critics are referring to a leftist Freudian slip. Yeah, a Freudian slip is when you say something, right, that you didn't mean to say, but it's really how you feel, right? Subconsciously, that's how you feel. So if you're racist and you say something like, look at that spick, I mean, his Puerto Rican guy, the wetback, I mean, the Mexican guy, I meant to say, that's a Freudian slip, right? You're racist. You're a racist. Queens College professor Andrew Beveridge has attracted attention to referring to African Americans as slaves on CNN. Right? This past weekend, Beveridge appeared on CNN as a guest. The college professor conversed with CNN host Michael Smerconish regarding citizenship and the Department of Justice. When Beveridge was asked about the possibility of separate districts, the latter responded with the following statements, and this is in reference to redistricting. Ever since the 14th Amendment, all people in the United States have been counted. Women, children, slaves, blacks, non-citizens. Beveridge then went on to criticize Republicans and potential district shifts, right? The reaction to his remarks: for quite some time, progressive liberals and Democrats have faced criticism from right-leaning Americans for what the latter views as harmful policies. Moreover, conservatives have affirmed that progressives secretly view African Americans and other racial minorities as slaves or otherwise less than. And this is something I've been saying here in the city of Yonkers, right? I don't care that they put Lakeisha Collins Bellamy as the city council president. I don't care that they made Tasha Diaz the majority leader. I don't care that they allowed Vinny, the artist, to put a statue of a slave over there by the Hudson River. I don't care that they're allowing the black artists to draw on the walls. I don't care. Ultimately, that does nothing for the African American population, which includes my wife and kids and myself. I consider myself black. I speak Spanish, right? I also consider myself American. I also consider myself human first and foremost, and I respect and appreciate and love all people. But we understand that there are individuals out there that are racist. And nowadays they hide it. And they found ways to continue to display that racism, but in ways that may not seem like it's racism. And that's exactly what's being done here in the city of Yonkers. I don't care how many people of color they have on the city council that they've appointed. How many friends do Nick Spano actually has that are black, that he enjoys to spend time with? Or Zahi, or Vinny, or Mike Spano, or any Hispanic that's not, brown-nosing. They don't care about the Hispanic population. They don't care about the black population. Quite frankly, they don't care about most of Yonkers. That is why they will split Gramerton Hills right down the middle, putting them into new districts, regardless how they may feel. And even when people go up to speak about their concerns and complaints, they roll their eyes, they sit there and do absolutely nothing. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, as I said, Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, the city council president, they look at you like their little black puppet. And I'll say it again, and I'll stand by that statement because they do. You are doing their bidding. You are helping them destroy the African-American population, Hispanic population, and keep them down, furthering them into a life of generational poverty. Because that's what's been going on here in the city of Yonkers. I'm in there all the day, all the time. I'm in the streets. I see the people that have gone on to just remain the same place for years and years. And you could blame them. You could say they need to go do something about it. Sure, I understand that. People need to take responsibility. I get it, 1,000%, because if it wasn't for me, I wouldn't be where I'm at, right? But it also, if it were not for opportunities that they do not have, that I was fortunate to have. And this redistricting thing is not keeping in mind the people and considering them first and what is in their best interest, but what is in the best interest of our elected officials, specifically the Spano administration, and remaining in power. And that's what this redistricting truly is all about. And Andrew Beveridge, Dr. Andrew Beveridge, the man that once victim shamed a 14-year-old boy who was sodomized by James Sertivo, a Ginsburg development consultant, is doing exactly here in the city of Yonkers. He is basically redistricting in order to benefit the Democratic Party. Tom Meyer, Mike Spano, Nick Spano, Vinny Spano, John Spano, Empire Strategic Planning, and their plans to dominate politics forever. Maybe Michael Spano Jr. will be mayor one day, right? He went to Harvard. He'd be great for the position. And they'll remain in power, keeping their family employed for as long as we let them. But ultimately, this year we have a decision. We can remove this corrupt cancer and bring true change to the city of Yonkers. I'm Freddie Vasquez. It's early in the morning. I got to get up out of here. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed Friday. TGIF, join me tonight for a podcast with Anthony DiMaggio, former Yonkers police lieutenant, 15-year veteran who was terminated because he had an issue with a made man. What does that mean? Well, watch the podcast and you'll know. Go back and check the old podcast if you haven't been watching the Anthony DiMaggio podcast series, but I will be on tonight at 8 o'clock again. Folks, this guy, Dr. Beveridge, needs to be far away from any redistricting process here in the city of Yonkers. I mean, I found just too much dirt on him. He's a racist. He's a racist. He's a racist. He victim shames sex crime victims, child sex crime victims, right? He said that the 14-year-old boy wanted it. He was promiscuous and he was aggressive. So he brought it on himself. Is that a man we want involved in anything here in the city of Yonkers? Now I'm finding out that he is a racist. And doctor of sociology basically just understands how group behavior, group think, and they're just playing with communities, basically. Right? So we got to get this guy out of here. That's what we should be asking at the next meeting that they say they're going to have in terms of the redistricting maps or the new district maps. We need to ask for a new consultant. That's it. Bottom line. We don't want you guys to tweak it. We want an entirely new consultant. Ask for that extension because you can say we need an extension here in the city of Yonkers. We have to find a new consultant and we got to do this the right way. I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered. Again, have a beautiful day. I will see you tonight. Thank you, folks. The Spanos aren't racist. They use and abuse people equally. I guess you're right. I stand corrected. Have a beautiful and blessed day.
Freddie wins.
I am Freddie Vasquez. That is your morning Rush Hour Report. Have a beautiful day, folks.